So I want to get to epiphany number 2, but I want to let you know, here's number 1. I'm 10 years old. I'm in my basement on my brother's half where he had the rock band. And I snuck one of his records out and put it on and heard Eric Clapton playing Sitting on Top of the World, and it just blew the top off my head. I'd just known the Monkees and the Beatles before that. Epiphany number 2, after 2 years of business school, not knowing what to do with myself, my mom brings this book home from the library, and it got many people into woodworking, and it told you why you'd want to be doing it rather than what to make. And it just struck a chord with many folks like me. I opened my shop after doing a series of other kinds of woodworking. The schoolhouse in Winslow, this is the first piece I created. I was interested in marquetry and inlay through my love of guitars and through Art Deco and Art Nouveau, which I'd seen and loved, and was trying to recreate it. This is another piece based on a Charles Rennie Mackintosh ladder-back chair. Over the years, universally people ask, is it a bunk bed? But it's a hall table. And again, I was putting inlay in, but just kind of making it up as I went along. And I think the next one's going to show the style of marquetry that I learned from Silas Kopp, who is the leading marquetry person, probably the most well-known in the world. And after Haystack, I had a chance to teach with him in Rockport at the Center for Furniture Craftsmanship, and that's been an ongoing thing every other year. In the year 2000, I decided to get serious about my education and went back to a semester at Vermont College in Montpelier and did a self-designed study on marquetry and got to meet other folks and learn about their studies too, which are all completely different. Very good way to learn. And at some point I figured out Gibson had a custom shop and just sent him pictures of my work on a lark. And a little while later the phone rang and we talked to a guy that worked there, and he said, you know what, we'll send you a guitar, just see what you can do with it. And came up with this one. So these are all thin layers of wood, hand cut, and using different types of wood as color. So the background of this one is Hawaiian koa wood. There's satin wood, there's ebony, there's rosewood, there's purple heart. And there's just kind of creating images from my past that meant a lot. The stuff I thought was cool in 7th grade. I like to use models in my work when I can, and the next few photographs are a progression of going from the model through to a finished project. So this is Renee Garland. She owns a business down in Portland called Water Lily Imports, and she's a really cool woman. So doing this kind of work, you get to kind of be a Geppetto of seeing this image come to life and at some point start staring back at you when it gets kind of serious, like, don't mess it up. And you're never too far away from the potential of messing things up, and the further you go into the project, the more it would be a drag if you miscut things. So basically I'm taking the photograph and just kind of picking the things I like, accentuating this, removing that to kind of get the effect I'm after, trying very carefully in the woods that I choose to get the grain direction just so and to get the color just right, using sand shading to get the effect at 3 dimensions. So at this point, that's a little bit blurry, sorry. But the next one shows it in the finished project. And it was a collaboration with a guitar maker in Wisconsin named Bruce Petros, and it was based on a Buffalo Springfield song called Bluebird. I took some of the lines from the song that seemed to personify the 20-year-old males thinking that every girl that he takes a fancy to, of course, is going to love her back. And just that line, she got sold, just at moments in my life, listening to that song, seeing other people react to it, it is a crescendo moment. So I got interested all along. I've been drawing all these years, and I like to draw people. And at some point I realized, well, why not just try and translate this into portraiture? I've made a study of it, and I try and do portraits that are lasting, that show the spirit of the person and the dignity of all people. The last one was my dad. This is Frank Knight, the tree warden that was mentioned before, and the shirt and the frame are made of Herbie elm wood, which Herbie died a couple years ago that they cut them down, I think 2 winters ago, and a woodworker in Maine had the idea to saw up the lumber and give it out to woodworkers and to have them make stuff. I also like to just create art pieces. This one, I took the lowly apple that I drive around in the fall and just see so many apples just laying on the road, and just tried to hold it up for inspection and make it the beautiful thing that it is. And those of you in the know the seeds don't really do that, but I wanted them to. This is my most recent work. It's hanging down at the Center for Furniture Craftsmanship in their gallery, where there's a woodworking show right now. And at some moment in time, I knew exactly what it meant to me, and I kind of forgot. So if it means something to you, that's great. The last 6 months, I've been involved in probably the biggest inlay project in my life, making a very classic, elegant dining table for a customer in Camden. It's 4 feet by 8 feet and just loaded with this sort of inlay, which is my play on a tamarack branch. It's carved mahogany that's just barely above the surface, and silver needles. This is my shop. I'm kind of standing so you can see the whole commute that I do every morning. It's great. I moved out of Winslow where it was drafty and cold and built this place for myself, and it's been wonderful to just be able to work at home and be really involved with my kids when they were growing up. This hangs on the wall of my kitchen. It's not done yet, and neither am I, and I use it for inspiration every day when I walk out the door. And jump for joy, jump and a net will appear, and jump, you don't even need a net. And it's Maurice Chevalier, and I like it. So.